everyone, it's Susan with Sharksploitation Sunday. Today we're going to talk about Tubi's new original movie, Shark Side of the Moon, directed by Glenn Campbell. Not that Glenn Campbell. I think it's not that Glenn Campbell. Anyway, and Tanya Klein. The whole premise of this movie is about shark people hybrids that live on the moon. So it's very what the fuck. Hey, we watch Sharksploitation movies. We're totally used to what the fuck. That's like 90% of them, right? We're going to get right into it, but first I do want to remind you to hit that like button and subscribe. You guys know the drill. Okay. The movie opens with all of these scenes from the US-Russian space race back in the day, and we are with the Russians who have created the shark people hybrids that live in a swimming pool. And they escape. They have all this carnage that ensues, and there's a girl in high heels who gets her head bitten off, and it's kind of hilarious. You can tell, though, that this is going to be very heavy CGI. It looks like shit, but it's fun. Like, the shark people have all different heads. Like, one's like a great white, and one can be like a hammerhead. Some of them have like little bitty heads that are like way too small for their body, like they're blue sharks. And later on in the movie, you get this really weird, like pointy protuberant shark thing that I think is supposed to be a goblin shark. But anyway, he's fabulous. The people sharks are totally on the move. They're attacking. They're wiping everyone out. There's 2 Russians left. One sacrifices himself, so the other one, named Sergey, can get in their shuttle and take off. And he just goes to the moon with all of the monsters that are chasing him in the shuttle with him. So super smart. Now we're in the present day, which I don't think is the present day. It's like the future present day. But there's a bunch of American astronauts in their own shuttle, and they're going to the moon because we have to go to the moon to save humanity, blah, blah, blah. Of course, shit goes sideways. They lose their communication with mission control. They're flung to the far side of the moon. By the way, they never say dark side of the moon in this movie, even though that would rhyme and coincide with the title of the movie. They always say far side of the moon. I mean, is there a copyright on Dark Side of the Moon I don't know about? Is it because of Pink Floyd? Am I going to get in trouble for saying Dark Side of the Moon? Anywho, there they are. So they're fucked, and their ship is fucked, and they've lost comms, and they gotta go fix their doohickey there so they can get off the moon. And there is a moon rover, the U-22 rover. Okay, let me stop right here. They use a lot of space words, space terminology. I am a marine biology person. I know nothing about space. I don't know how accurate any of these words are. If any of you space people want to chime in the comments, be my guest, because I have no fucking idea. They find this rover because they're going to use the parts to fix the ship. A guy gets a bloody nose, and of course we know that even on the moon, even if they're hybrids, blood is going to attract sharks. So here they come, dorsal fins just slicing through the moon soil like butter. They want to have a budget so bad in this movie, but they don't. So they have to act when they're walking around on the surface of the moon. They have to act like they're walking around on the surface of the moon. Like, if you took a really shitty 1988 improvisational class in your local community theater and they asked you to act like you were walking on the moon, that's what it's like. These lumbering morons get attacked by these shark people, and they get saved by Sergey, who 40 years later is still on the moon, half batshit crazy, wearing a chainmail helmet and just has oxygen tubes up his nose. Like, no protection, just hospital oxygen tubes up his nose. Like, NASA, you're spending way too much money here. Like, you could just have those cheap hospital tubes connected to what oxygen tank? I don't know, because I never saw one. But yeah, I mean, that's all you need on the moon. And with Sergey is his daughter, Akula, who has a dorsal fin. Oh yeah, turns out that she, in fact, is a shark hybrid herself, and she was found as a very young shark pup baby by Sergey, who raised her as his own. So she's very partial to humans. Like, she likes humans, unlike the rest of the shark hybrid people. Our very trusting Americans decide to join the Russians. They just hop in their own rover and off they go to this Russian shuttle because they're very desperate to fix their shuttle so they can get the fuck out of there. So they just go and trust these strangers they just met on a shark-infested moon, as you do. Meanwhile, one of the Americans, Henry, he gets captured and taken hostage by the shark people. And these are females. This is a matriarchal society, folks. And it's run by Tsarina Skilla. Yes, they have their own Tsarina. So they're telling Henry, like, listen up, bud. If you don't take us to your shuttle so we can get off here, go to Earth and take over. We're going to take over Earth, as is our birthright for some reason. If you don't tell us, we're going to fucking rip your fucking leg off and cauterize it, and we're going to keep doing that until you tell us. Of course, they rip his fucking leg off and cauterize it, and Henry ends up spilling the tea. Good job, Henry. But we do find out, yeah, they're planning on taking over the Earth. That's why they need the shuttle. The Russian shuttle that's there is like 40 years old, so that's a piece of shit, and they don't want it. And they built a whole city. The city's kind of badass. It's got like lava rivers running through it and stuff. Back on the Russian shuttle, we get all of the deets about what's been going on. So, you know, like he finds Akula, and she's like super badass, but she likes humans because they've been nice to her. And he saw Elton John once in Moscow. For some reason, that comes up a couple times. Thanks to Henry and his major disclosure of where the American shuttle is, the shark people are now going to attack the shuttle, take it over so they can get out of there. But commander of the American people, who's with Sergei and Akula, she's like warning them, like, hey, sharks are attacking, because there's 2 people left on the shuttle who have no fucking idea what's going on. They have no idea that they're on a planet infiltrated with shark people. The commander, Sergei, Akula, and the other dude, they're like, infiltrate the shark city, and they have to be real careful not to get into fights or anything, because if they draw blood, like, all of them are going to come on them at once, so certain death. So they're trying to be real careful, and they end up seeing a room which has a bunch of eggs in it. It's very Aliens. There's definitely ripping off of Aliens going. And by the way, also Jurassic Park. There's a ton of Jurassic Park. So, speaking of eggs, we find out that the female shark people can asexually reproduce. They can just have babies on their own, just like poof. So they laid all these eggs, and this American guy's like, damn, we should just like Ripley their asses with a flamethrower and just get rid of them, and then there won't be any danger of them having all of these eggs to populate the Earth. And Akula, being a shark person herself, she's like, those are just little babies. How could you do that? They're just innocent babies. So they don't end up killing them. Akula, turns out that she is the sister of the Tsarina. And the Tsarina's like, bitch, where have you been? Like, you need to be coming with us to take over the Earth. What the fuck is wrong with you? And Akula's all like, well, I was raised by a human and they were nicer than you ever were to me, bitch. And the Tsarina's like, damn, girl, that's... Henry, who just has one leg but seems to be getting around just fine, decides to make up for him spilling the tea to the Tsarina by sacrificing himself so they can all get away and help save the people on the shuttle. And he actually says, die, you son of a bitch. So it's just ripping off every movie. It's great. Our cowardly little group almost immediately surrenders to the shark people, who like take over the ship. But like Henry's dying hand has this USB thingy in it, which has the flight plan that they had come up with, and they need that. So they grab that, and then Tsarina and Akula get into it again. Tsarina is like, dude, we were just using you. Like, we planted you out there because we knew that stupid human was going to pick you up because they're all a bunch of big softies for babies, and he was going to raise you, and then we've got all this knowledge about how the shuttle works. And Akula's like, what? Blah, blah, blah. Somehow they escape. Sergei's like, dude, I can, like, blow the planet up with my old 40-year-old Russian shuttle because it's filled with this nitrogen-rich soil, which can cause this geothermal disturbance and go kaplooey. So, of course, they're all like, yeah, you go do that. And Akula's like, no, daddy. And he's like, I gotta do this. And, you know, boom, kapow. The Americans take off from the planet, and they somehow make it to Earth. Okay, guys, like, this movie is not important enough for me not to spoil the ending because the ending is so fucking stupid. It ends up the commander, the other dude, and Akula, and they end up, you know, landing in the ocean on planet Earth, and Akula's all like, oh, it's as beautiful as I've ever imagined, and oh, Papa, thank you for saving us and sacrificing your blah, blah, blah. She goes into labor, okay? Remember, the female shark hybrid people can just, like, spontaneously, you know. Someone even says in the movie, nature finds a way. Ian Malcolm would not be pleased. So she's like, what's happening? And the commander's like, bitch, you're gonna have a kid. And she gives birth to this litter of the cutest, oodest little hybrid pup things who all fall into the ocean. And Akula just jumps up and she's like, I gotta be with my babies. And she jumps into the ocean and the commander is just like, oh shit, we're all fucked. The end. Yeah, so that is it. Yeah, that's how it ends. I mean, it's very what the fuck. This whole thing is what the fuck. I would say it does have moments of entertaining value, especially the shark people themselves. I mean, it's all very ridiculous. But expect a very, very, yeah, it's not good. I mean, if you like rip a 5-foot bong or you're just like mildly distracted by like a new puppy in the household or something else is going on, then you can get through it. Well, that's it for today, kids. Thanks for joining me. If you're interested in purchasing my book, Encyclopedia Sharksploitanica, you can always do so through the link in the description box below. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!